Alright, everybody, welcome back to Homebrew Haven. Once again, we are diving into the Out of the Abyss campaign. A couple plugs here today, and announcements. Right above my head, as you see, the voice mixer donation is still going on. It will be used to help kind of keep all the voices in line for everybody else, as well as add a little bit more flavor to some of my voices. Besides that, next week's session on the 15th, I believe? 15th, 16th, so, yeah, just next week for this session. We will not be streaming. We will still have our Wednesday session as normal, but I will not be in town next weekend, so, yeah. When I do get back, though, we will be having we will start our giveaways for positions in the Tales of the Yawning Portal campaign that I'm going to be running. Basically, just going to be running through a bunch of those one-shots, leveling up as you go. I am attempting to do that on National Board Game Day, which I believe is the 29th. So we will be doing a daytime session, basically to make up for the 15th type thing.
June 16th.
Huh?
National Board Game Day is June 16th.
No, National Tabletop Day.
Oh.
Let me check, just to be sure.
Yeah, it's typically that.
Yeah, okay. Boom. Any hooligans. Yeah. So we'll be doing a daytime session for that, possibly. I'm still trying to figure that out. And we will be back to our regular weekend sessions on the 18th, I think. No, the 22nd will be the next Out of the Abyss campaign running. Give these guys a little bit of a break as well. A little shout out to the illustrious and magnificent Synthork. I got my Shadowrun book today. Going to be looking into running this when our buddy Foley, aka Maxwell, will be indisposed with his career path. He'll be gone for about a month, so we'll be running that.
2 months.
2 months. So we'll be running that in lieu of the Out of the Abyss. We will probably be finding a new, better time for some of the players who will be joining in. And yeah. Just one last thing. Gotta bust open this crap. Alright.
If you see me ducking around shit, by the way, it's just because I'm trying to read stuff on my screen.
He'll be like Shane when he streams. It's all really
Just until it's my turn, then I'll be quitting Dark Souls. For now.
You buttface.
I'm listening.
You buttface.
No, you're not.
I am.
Anyhow.
I want the casting prison on
Maxwell.
fuckface.
Fuck.
Yes.
Is that a lot of sight ability means spell? Because can you see me?
Anyhow.
That wasn't the question I asked. I want the casting prison. Okay. Yeah. Enough of that.
Enough. What is it? E-peening? Yeah. That's what it's called. Anyhow. welcome back to the Out of the Abyss. To kind of jump back in where we left off, our heroes were in Slubaldop, the Kuatoan village that had been ransacked by Demorgagon. They encountered a group of survivors that were basically being held together by Shushar the Awakened, one of their old traveling companions. In an attempt to help them escape, Maxwell and Thok decided to cause a diversion and get all of the rabid Kuatoans that had fallen to Demorgagon's will. They tried to lure them away while the Kuatoans escaped on the other way. Unfortunately, this brought the entire might of the Kuatoans down upon their ship. As they readied to take off, Robert leapt off of the ship to hold the line against 70 plus Kuatoans, and was quickly surrounded. So basically, the Kuatoan leader, the daughter of the former high priest of the Kuatoan, stepped forward, and using her abyssal magic, she launched a delayed blast fireball at the ship. And while everyone was kind of distracted, trying to keep the Kuatoans at bay, the fireball grew and grew and grew. To where finally, when both Maxwell and Robert overcame the priestess, the concentration of the spell broke, causing the fireball to explode, destroying their ship, killing many of their army, and leaving several of their... Almost all of them. Leaving most of their... most of their allies pretty burnt up and scarred. As they recovered from that slight defeat, they were happened upon by a Herald of Rot. While Thok was busy hunting down rogue Kuatoans, Robert and Maxwell decided to fight the Herald of Rot, and subsequently released a necromantic plague into the Underdark. Thok was able to kind of put a stop to the plague where they were, before a stone giant came to lead them all to Gravenhollow. Upon arriving, they basically all went their separate ways. They got their rooms set up, and then began to research. Robert decided to look as far back as he could in history to find something to defeat the demons and the devils, and subsequently learned about the creation of the Ring World. While Maxwell went looking for information on his fallen leader, King Auric Longaxe, and while searching, he ran into the Echo of Auric and revealed to him about the truth about his death, to the Echo of Auric about 15, 20 years in the future, or in the past, sorry. They returned to their rooms after kind of dwelling on what they learned, but we don't know what Thok did. So, we're going to dive into Thok's first day in the library. Mr. Thok.
Would there be anything of the more into sentient weapons and how to create them.
That would have taken you into the halls of the past, where shortly after Robert and Maxwell left, you met Ulthar. Or they left the first time after he granted them a stone speaker crystal. You met Ulthar, who, though he did not take kindly to you, he did bestow upon you a stone speaker crystal as well, and explained that when you attune to it, you are granted visions of the past, present, or the future. So, as you find your way into the halls of the past, you look around, and slowly but surely you begin to pick up some books and some lore on sentient weapons, mostly the ones from the past. Though their creation is generally varied, each is known to have to you have to essentially sacrifice a certain a certain, how do you say it, life force into the weapon, be that forced or voluntary.
And would there be any kind of ritual for this?
You do find several rituals, some for the voluntary, but the darker rituals tend to be a lot more vague, seeing as generally people would not want to spend their knowledge or give away their knowledge so easily. But you do find enough information that you could, in theory, attempt a ritual. You just need to find some form of life force to place into a weapon. A weapon, basically mold, for it, as well as several magical components that would essentially empower the weapon to be more than just, a talking weapon.
And for this, does the weapon have to be in a certain process of the creation, or does that be finished, or so forth?
From what you found, it can be placed inside a already created weapon, but the weapon would have to fit certain specifications. Otherwise, it's best to start from scratch.
And how much time are we going to be killing here?
As much time as you guys would like.
Okay. And just how long is this time span going?
What you've done now would be the first day. You guys have only really been here a day so far. So, yeah.
Did the stone giant give him the same
Yes.
warning? Alright.
Sorry, which warning? Oh.
You have as much time as you want. You can spend as much time as you want here, but be wary, because time does not pass the same, blah blah blah.
Correct. Yeah, he basically gave you the spiel that Gravenhollow exists almost out of time. And that is why there are many, like, there's the past, present, and future. There's analogs from both, or from all three.
Okay. And on that note, can I know the time, how it passes through here, as we are in Gravenhollow?
Time normally passes as normal. If you spend 5 days here, when you leave, it'll be 5 days later. It's more tied to your specific positioning within the time stream.
Okay.
One second.
About the demons.
Sorry, what was that?
I have a book about the demons.
Right.
That I received when I was in. Oh god, what was that guy? The moment when we were not in the Underdark. I got the book about the demon lords.
Correct. Or do you mean the Demon Lords or the... What? Sorry, which book are you exactly talking about? The one that you got in Oryx Castle?
No.
No, that was on Sentient Weapons.
Before. That was on Sentient Weapons. I got the book about demon lords that has basically a shit ton of information about them.
Oh, did I?
I've not had the
killer.
time.
Well, that's pretty gross. Sorry about that.
I've not had a lot of time checking it up. It was from when I first met Robert's Paladins, or when we were about to give them the shit, so forth. And our second venture into the Underdog. Just before that, I was given a book by a lord about the demon lords.
Right.
That would have a lot of information about them.
Correct. It has general basic information that warlocks and such have kind of gathered up over the centuries. But you do still have, like, there's still a lot of research that could still be done. So are you wanting to read more into that book, or are you wanting to delve out into the library itself?
I'll delve out into the library and go in for specifics on the demon lords themselves.
Alrighty. So, which demon lord would you like to start looking into?
What one are we supposedly hunting right now?
So you guys know of 3 specifically that you guys have met or dealt with. Demogorgon would be the one that attacked Sloopledop. You get Moy, is the the fungus queen. And then Jubilex is the one who possessed the deep gnome known as the Pudding King.
come again on the last one?
Jubilex, the one who possessed the Pudding Queen.
Let's go for Jubilex. Specifics on Jubilex and weaknesses. All kinds of urges. What he feels like he's compelled to go after, and so forth.
As you kind of search through the books, you're looking through, and you find a strange entry about Jubilex. The Slime Lord, or the Faceless Lord as he is often known, is a sick, twisted form of nature. Unlike his kin and the rest of the Demon Lords, his body has melted down, and he moves as the oozes that he commands. Many times, he likes to use his oozes to possess the bodies of leaders in society and slowly allow the society to fall to his will before completely consuming them and feeding his ooze army. You learn that he doesn't really have that many weaknesses, but he has a massive rivalry with Yigetmoy, the fungi queen. As you kind of read that over, you read it over again, you close the book, and as you slide it back onto the shelf, your vision flashes, and suddenly you see a deep gnome being spurned by others of his kind, weeping as he wanders the dark tunnels, talking to things that crawl and seep from the walls. You see him adopt 2 slick patches of ooze, sensing his innate power over them. He plays with them as if they are children, chasing them through the gloomy depths. Something changes, and the oozes flow away. The deep gnome runs after them, fearful of being alone once again. You feel a great hunger seize him. He experiences visions that pass into your vision, showing what appears as a paradise to him, but an oozing nightmare for all others. The great hunger speaks to him, his already broken mind a shield against the hunger's shattering power. That power seems to recognize and acknowledge something in the gnome that will serve it well. The great hunger has a name, Jubilex, and its power, oh such great and terrible power. It grants the gnome the ability to command the little hungers, his children, so that they can return to the place that cast them out and devour it all.
I keep this information to myself.
All right. At that point, you feel your mind almost exhausted, as you long for the return to your room. You glance over, and the long row of books that was formerly there is now a short staircase leading up to the hallway where your rooms were. As you step up the stairs, you see coming up directly opposite of you both Maxwell and Robert, both looking just as beleaguered and tired as you are, and you see the head of Elizran poking out of one of the doors. As you kind of skip forward, happy with the knowledge that you found, you step into your room, slamming the door and locking it behind you, plunging yourself into the darkness with Kazkan there. As I told them before, your room is basically fit to your specifications. However, mentally you pictured your room, it would appear that way. So, you have some...
It would be the cabin. It would be the cabin Thog drew up with his mother.
All right.
It wasn't a large home.
So yeah, kind of cramped, but there seems to be a strange outcropping in the wall for Kazkan, so he's not just like breathing down your neck the entire time you're in the room. But yeah, it looks exactly like your mother's cabin. As you all kind of rest for the evening, dwelling on what you learned, you awaken fresh in the morning. And as you all almost simultaneously step out of your rooms, you look and you see, Maxwell and Robert. Maxwell, you guys see Thok, but you also see a new figure. A human, kind of shrouded in a pretty heavy cloak with a bulge kind of coming out of the side. Lucas, welcome to the party. Go ahead and describe yourself.
Well,
As I look up to this new figure, I ready up a fireball.
You do know that any fighting inside the library will likely end in your petrification and smashing of your statue. Just so you know. You guys
I am
were
aware
here
of this.
by a basilisk.
I am aware of this, but I was still ready up. I didn't say I fire it. I will ready it up.
I know, I'm just saying.
well, figure will mostly just be shrouded, standing there, not paying attention to those around him. He's too engrossed currently in the 2 books that he is currently skimming through. So it would be strange to see someone able to both turn the pages and hold the 2 books at the same time, until you would notice the 3rd arm made out of mechanical parts.
Hello? You there? Maxwell just tries to get his attention. Hello?
He turned to Maxwell. Yes? What? I'm very busy. What do you need?
I was seeing if you were another time phantom, or if you were actually real. I haven't seen any other guests here.
The first thing that you do notice, Foley, or Maxwell, is he is in fact corporeal, unlike the Echo of Oryx that you met the day before.
A time phantom? I've never heard of these things. What is a time phantom?
Echoes of the past, present, future. Of people who have been here before. I don't know, I spoke with one yesterday.
I've not noticed anything.
Hmm.
Suppose I should be paying more attention then.
Who are you and why are you here?
I am Karazir. Just a lone sparksmith. Been trying to find the answers on how to possibly get rid of name of the Null Prince, whose name I forgot.
You know who it is. Honestly, you'd be kind of avoiding using its name, since many people claim that using the name of Demon Lord either summons it or increases its power.
I would refer to the Null Prince without attempting to directly say it.
But you guys would know, specifically Thok, from your research, that he's talking about Inogu, the creator of Knolls, and the bloodthirsty, ravenous demon lord.
Well, in Nobu, this is. And if you think that naming a demon lord increases his power, you are so wrong. You're so terribly wrong.
Hey, Thok, for once we actually agree on something.
I just happen to know better.
Whether it increases his power or not, I want to stay as far away from him as possible.
So,
Unlike me then, because I want to get as close as I can in for the kill.
why are you researching a demon lord?
He hunted down and killed every last member of my party. Just a humble group of adventurers.
With
Months
that,
ago, we
with
were
that,
sent.
Thok's fireball just fizzles away, and as he explains the death of his party.
We were just a ragtag group of adventurers. We thought we could take the wanting. We thought, it's just one mind flare. What could possibly go wrong? We didn't know that they came.
When we started, we were 6.
Now we're down to 3. Well, not really 3. There, we have a few friends with us. They're just not present at the moment. A lot of them got injured in Subodop. Have you heard of it? It was a nice village before it got destroyed.
Lovely place. Would go for a visit again.
I think we may have passed through.
Once it gets rebuilt, I would love to visit it. Maybe Shushar would be there.
So then, you're out in the hunt to destroy these demons?
Yeah. Sent on a mission by the late King Oric Longaxe. And we all intend to carry it out for one reason or another.
With that, he'd close his books, set them at his side, and extend out his right hand to Maxwell. Then if it is at all possible, I would like to join you in the removal of the majority of these lords.
As you shake hands with Maxwell, suddenly a voice rings out in your mind. Oh, another hatchling? This one's strange. He's twisted like the gnomes that Oric used to keep.
And what do you mean by that, Elzran? Maxwell's voice rings in the head.
His metallic arm. It's
Metal, yes.
yes, but it's also a mix of magic as well. He's curious.
He's probably a man of Gaunt, then.
Possibly. Or not. I guess we will see.
I suppose so.
I'm going to rest some more, hatchling. Wake me when you need me. At that, the voice fades.
Maxwell just gives, I'm just going to call you Kara, a smile, a small smile and a nod as he shakes his hand. Well, we can always use more friends fighting demons, of course.
Just so
And Doc, what do you say?
more cannon fodder. Lovely.
You are
As
the
long as
cannon.
as long as he doesn't run into the other direction. Yes. So at that he just looks at Karazir. Just so you're aware, we basically have only one plan for every encounter. We go in and we win.
Yeah,
Hope
basically.
that plan holds true.
As so far. Against disciples of Demon Lords, a chosen of a goddess, yeah, a whole entire army. Actually,
A
two.
black dragon.
Powerful warriors you are. Glad to be in your presence then. And glad you're on our side.
Well, at least two of us are on the side of good. We don't know about Doc yet.
Good. I was speaking on the side of surviving.
Oh, Doc's all about that.
I think we'll get along probably fine.
Yes.
Your conversation is interrupted by the gentle of a staff kind of tapping on the hallway floors. As you guys turn to look, two figures approach you. One, a withered drow clad in dark flowing robes. The other, a hulking gray-skinned monster resembling a spiky humanoid toad, its wide mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. The drow's pinched and lined face speak to his great age, and his red eyes narrow and appraise you carefully as he approaches. He kind of steps towards you all very cautiously.
Maxwell quickly steps in front of Robert, trying to obscure his view of the drow.
The drow leans on his staff and looks to each of you. Greetings, adventurers. What brings you to Gravenhollow?
Information.
Well, that was assumed, considering this is a library. But where are my manners? My name is Vizeran, Archmagus. And yours?
Does not concern you.
Ignore him, he's mean. I'm Lord Maxwell Vorskan of the Baoran Empire.
Greetings, Lord Maxwell Vorskan. So, what information have you come seeking? Perhaps we could help each other. As you notice, he too is not an echo.
Well, Demon Lords are invading, and we're looking for a way to stop them.
Sorry about that. I was helping make dinner.
You're good.
I'll be ready in a moment, so I'll have to leave again, but I was just telling you where I was.
Word. You guys are currently talking to a drow archmagus with a giant slad next to him. He looks you over and goes, "Oh, so you too know of the demon invasion. Then it is fortuitous that we have met. As I said, my name is Vizeran. I have opposed the tyranny of Loth and her priestesses for centuries. I heard of the demonic invasion, but seeing as I have been cast out from Men's of Baranzan, I did not know for sure. I came here to confirm my suspicions, and so they have been confirmed. Now, it is time to make plans to combat said invasion.
Can I try to tell if he's lying?
Roll an insight check, please.
I would like to get on that as well.
You both can,
Yes.
with advantage, Morty. Or not Morty, Foley.
31.
That was Elizran, you cheap shit.
Fuck, that was?
No, it's good, it's good. You can use hers, so...
I swear I clicked on mine.
Liar. Lies! Anyway.
Elizran has much better insight than me too. Oh.
As you study him, Elizran's voice rings out in your mind. It's strange. I've been probing his mind for the past minute or two as he approached, and from what I can see, he is indeed telling the truth. I doubt we can trust him, but use him. Well, what do they say in the Empire? What would Auric do?
Use the knowledge. Get the knowledge from him, and then either kick him out or hug him. Or both. Well, let's get the knowledge, eh? So, Archmagus, you've been studying the Demon Lords then?
I've studied the Demon Lords in my past, yes, but I have only just arrived a few days past, and I've been trying to figure out exactly how the Demon Lords have come.
Maxwell knows that, like, people in Auric's empire kind of caused that, right?
That is the assumed reason.
Gotcha. Maxwell just kind of shrugs and says, well, even if no one knows why they came, we're all have to find a way to defeat them. Or, well, how they came.
Well, I suggest you look in particular into Menzo Baranzan and its Archmagus, a fool named Grumph Bairnry. Have you learned their secrets to this library yet?
It shows you what you want, I've seen, or at least what you're looking for.
Well, as I said, I've already explored that, but it's best if you witness it on your own. My quarters are down the hall. Please, come by if you wish to compare notes. Perhaps together we can come up with a solution.
The solution is simple. Kill them.
So naive, but what could I expect from you? It's not as simple as just killing a demon lord. There's more to it than that. This isn't some accident. This is a clever design by a spiteful bitch of a demon. Tell me, do you know where Loth is right now?
Maxwell just looks at Thok. Well, you're the demon expert.
Of course I know where Lolf is.
Where is she?
Drip, where is Lolf?
You know that she natively inhabits the abyss with the rest of the demon lords, but out of all the rumors and whatnot that you guys have heard of the various demon lords throughout the Underdark, her name has not come up.
Lolf is a cunning bitch who is currently dragging on his drow. Her drow.
Perhaps there's a bit more you will have to research. Come find me when you're up to speed. Then, we might be able to discuss a plan of action.
Because what? You wanting us to kill Lolf and getting none of the dirty work for yourself?
I did not say that. You
But you
and your
implied it.
allies will not be able to survive an onslaught by even one of these demon lords. Not without my help. I've studied them, and specifically Lolth, for centuries, as I said. The fact that they are here causes my...
Mind you explode.
No. But it causes complications in my own plans for revenge against the whores who cast me out.
Wouldn't it just be easier? More chaos. You can slip in and cause more.
I do not want chaos. I want order. And that is why
Then
I
you
wish
have
to
order.
stop the demon lords. As he looks to you guys.
With that, Thork just storms out into the library, finding a book about Lolf.
Are you going into the past, the present, or the future library?
First to the past and then to the future.
As you enter the past, you read the general knowledge of Wolf, her fall from the Cylindrine, I think that's what they're called. Yeah. And the subsequent casting of herself into the abyss with the rest of the demon lords. As you continue to read, the stone speaker crystal alights, and once again your vision flashes and fades. But real quick, what is Robert? Well, Robert is just going to follow Maxwell at this point until Morty gets back. Kara and Maxwell, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to return to the future library. Back to digging around for more answers on our null prince.
So, did Robert ever share like the details on the stuff he found the day before?
You'll have to ask him when he gets back. I can't make that call for him.
Gotcha, because I don't. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go into the past library
Past, okay.
and look for books on demon invasions. See if there were any of that in the past.
As you look around, you find certain situations where demons had breached the material plane and caused chaos before. Generally, it was because they would possess a mortal being and basically work their way to gain enough power to materialize themselves on the plane and then cause chaos, usually driven back by the sacrifice of great knighthoods and magi, basically forcing them back.
Nothing on this scale, though.
No, nothing on this scale. Essentially, from what you can gather, if that was how they came over, each of them would have had to find someone to possess within the past 2 years or so and gain the power that way. Though Jubilex, you do know he possessed the Pudding King. You can also, from the timeline that the Svirnaplin gave you, you can tell that that was not the case. Mostly because usually the body of the possessed is destroyed in the process. Back to Thok. As your vision fades and it relights, you behold the true form of the demon queen of spiders, that of a black, bloated arachnid with the head of a female drow. Nestled in the webs all around her are thousands upon thousands of dark, grey, pulsating eggs. Lolth knows she's being scryed, her fury tangible as her mind reaches out to find you. Her shriek of rage as she's shut out by the powerful wards of Gravenhollow echoes in your mind as the vision is suddenly torn away to darkness. Thok, please make me a wisdom saving throw.
"24."
You feel the familiar claw and pull of her demonic rage as your mind reactively shields itself. You do not gain any madness levels, fortunately.
I've returned.
Welcome back. As for you, Lucas, you look around, but the archives of the future generally seem a bit vague, almost as if they're still being written. You find some things about Knoll attacks on certain towns in the future. You find a little bit, but you can't necessarily be sure if it's how do I say it? You can't really be sure if it's the result of the demon invasion and Yinogru basically branching out, or if it's a separate case altogether. But as you close a final book, kind of sighing at the lack of information, the stone speaker crystal that you were given shines and a vision flashes before your eyes. A hunched and rotting creature with the head of a fiendish hyena swings a triple-headed flail at a beholder, crushing it. As the eye tyrant falls to the floor, a pack of hyenas leaps onto the corpse and tears off its eye stalks while the demon lord licks the gore off of his weapon. As the hyenas feed, they transform into slavering, cackling gnolls before your eyes. As the vision fades,
portal.
Might be it. Write this down before I forget the vision. Proceed to write the vision down and leave the future library.
Alright. Maxwell, you are the only one who has yet to use up the charge. You do know that should you fail to inspire a vision from your research, you may ask the stone a question, or the crystal a question, and it will attempt to give you a vision pertaining to that, depending on if you're in the proper library or not.
Am I able to leave the past library and go to the future library and look for something?
Okay.
And as this shit's happening, I'm moving from the past to the present. So researching on Lolth.
Alright.
Oh. I'm also gonna take down the names of each of the towns that popped up during my research.
Arabelle, Suzale, Thunderholm, Evening Star.
Alright.
So in the future library, I'm gonna look into like any writings on this specific demon incursion, whatever you want to call it. See if there in the future there's anything written about it.
You look around and you can't quite seem to find anything specifically on the demon invasion itself. 1 second. But as you look through the books, you come upon another echo. This one, a gray bearded man of weathered visage. He mutters to himself in a gruff tone as his alert eyes scan through books and then place them back on the shelf. His attire is not too fancy, but it is arcane in nature. Between his lips is pinched a meerschaum pipe. It's always spouting some vile blue or green smoke into the air. His most distinguishing physical feature is the hawk-like nose that is buried in each of the books that he picks up.
I'm gonna approach him. Excuse me.
Hmm? Yes.
I was wondering, what are you researching here?
This and that.
That's right. Can I ask your name?
Yes. Though I'm surprised you have not heard of me. I'm known as the Sage of Chateaudale. Elminster Amar, at your service.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Lord Maxwell Vorskan of the Baoran Empire.
He kind of pulls his pipe from his lips and dips his head a little bit. My lord, I've heard of your empire before. That dwarf, that meddlesome dwarf, yes. I remember him. So, what brings you here?
He is an echo, correct?
Correct.
Well, right now in my time at least, there's a demon invasion going on. All the demon lords seem to have escaped and are now destroying the world. I'm looking for information to stop them.
Oh, yes, yes. That was the one caused by Gravenhollow. Many great heroes were lost to that demonic tide. But several powerful demon lords were also driven back to the abyss.
What was the name? Gromp?
Gravenhollow. He was a drow archmagus, former archmagus of Menzoberranzan.
Alright. How do you know this? Oh, I assume you're from the future.
Quite astute you are. You might grow to accomplish great things, my lord. He smirks.
That's ominous. Oh. So, the world survives then.
Well, possibly.
Oh, right. Time and stuff changes a lot.
Which is why I can't tell you more than I already have. I've just saved you some time and research. That is forgivable.
Of course. Well, I'll leave you to your research. I'll be heading off. Maxwell leaves the echo.
Wait.
I'm back.
Of course. You did not answer my question.
Wait, what was his question?
He didn't ask one yet.
What is your question?
I can't really hear anyone. There we go.
There you go. Okay. He turns and goes. I'm searching for the
My
meaning
cat
of a
seems to have
word.
attacked my keyboard
Morty!
and put me
Morty!
Steam.
Morty. I'm trying to talk. I don't care about your cat. Anyway.
Well, you better.
Bitch. Anyway, he looks over at you, goes, in the future, magic has been weakened a bit. So I'm searching for new forms of magic. I stumbled upon an old scroll in the confines of your old kingdom. Your kingdom. Do you know what this word means? Brissinger?
Oh, that means fire. If you see the magic from my kingdom, it's an innate thing. Have you ever heard of sorcerers, perhaps? They have
yes.
they have magic in their blood. They don't learn it, they just have it. That's the same with this type of magic, but it's not from the weave, per se. It's not from Mistra.
Interesting. Well,
But if you have the power for said magic, saying that word would cause fire to appear at a place you want it to.
Thank you. This is fine information, to be sure. A good trade, I would say.
Quite.
And Lord Maxwell, I
Yes?
sense the touch of mystery in you. do not forget to study the art. It might come in handy if you are fighting these demon lords.
Mistra's magic already has come in handy quite a few times.
That is so, but to achieve greatness, study. You may be like me one day. Take care, my lord. And he turns and he walks off.
Maxwell leaves the library.
He what?
Maxwell heads back to his room.
Okay. Robert, since you are...
Jotting down notes.
Yes, hello?
Okay, so everyone else basically did their day of research. What are you researching today?
I'm going to research more stuff on the old gods and, that sort of thing. The angels.
The angels.
Yes.
As you step back once more into the past, you start looking through, and you read several books about angelic incursions onto the ring world. But after the events that you read about the day before, they're much further and in between. You learn that after that, angels had quite a difficult time trying to come over to the material plane, and the ones that did often were forced to possess the bodies of willing members to basically transfer their consciousness here. There is an exception, though. One name appears quite frequently in the history analogs. Cassetial. Whenever there seems to be a great catastrophe that besets the ring world, the angel Cassetial seems to always be there. Traveling with several other members that many have assumed were possessed hosts that contained the essences of several different angels, but they were all the same, linked somehow to fire, lightning, the color purple, a shining white light, and several others that were less known.
Sorry, could you repeat that for me? I don't know why, but you're not quiet, but you're somewhat distorted.
Restart your curse.
Alright, I'll try.
That might work. Who knows?
Who knows?
Wait. I just thought of something. He might have not muted his sound in appear in. Actually, wait. Everyone is muted on appear in. Never mind.
Yeah. I made sure of that. Intermission break.
Jesus.
What?
Doesn't appear to be fixed. Maybe you're too loud. Let's see if turning you down fixes it. Okay, try talking.
What in the butt?
And now I can't hear you at all. Fucking hell.
What? And but? What? And but?
Okay, that's better.
Okay. Any hooligans. So basically, you learn that the only angel that seems to be constantly referred to throughout the history books is Cassetiel. He seems to essentially always be there just when things are turning for the worst and right before heroes rally to drive back whatever evil plagues the ring world. A few others are generally with him, but most people assume they are possessed hosts by angels of various takes and pleasures and whatnot. The most notable ones there's an angel who is often linked to lightning and thunderstorms, one that is linked to fire and infernos, one who always appears as a woman in purple, another who often would break away from the rest and commit deeds of charity and generosity even in the darkest hours. And then another who you actually do find the name for, though it seems from what you can tell that it is the name of the person that he possessed, not the angel itself. The name being Rathma.
Rathma.
Correct.
Alrighty.
As you continue to study the books, you are interrupted by a tapping sound. Not like the tapping of a staff, like from before, when you were approached by the Archmagus Drow, but more the tap of a cane, trying to seek out something. As you turn to look, you see an echo approaching you. A drow with his eyes binded in a dark cloth, tapping along with a cane.
Robert stares at the drow and gets a good look at him, though doesn't say much. Not quite sure of how he's meant to act around echoes.
As he gets closer, he taps near you and then suddenly stops. Hello? Is someone there?
There is, yes.
Are you from this timeline or another?
Another. I'm certain.
He kind of leans on the cane a little bit. And what brings you to Gravenhollow?
What else but knowledge?
Well, I guess it is just nice for me to find someone to actually converse with. I've been here far too long. My name is Helen Fane Obladra. And yours?
Robert. Hold on, I can't remember his surname.
Tilvin.
Robert Tilvin.
A surfacer, then. That is not a drow name.
I am human, yes, but I originally come from the dark.
Oh. Then perhaps you can help me. I
What is it?
was cast out from Menzo Baranzin after I lost my sight. I somehow survived, and I found my way here. I came hoping to overcome my blindness and take revenge against my family. Tell me, do you know if House Obladra still exists in your time? Roll me a history check.
Alrighty. Just a warning, I'm feeling extremely nauseous, so if I disappear, I'm probably throwing up.
Word. I hope you feel better.
Roll the 20.
You instantly recognize the name of the house, one that was destroyed several decades back. Though you don't remember how, you do remember that it was kind of a very sore topic among your masters in your youth.
I do recall this house, yes.
And do they still reign?
They do not. Information was not easy to come by when I was a slave, though I do recall them having been ousted quite a few decades ago.
A wry smirk twists across his lips. I thank you for this knowledge. Is there anything I can give you in return?
I don't suppose you might know the obscure knowledge of the names of all the old angels? Whatever it says. Sounding quite doubtful.
No. That type of knowledge is often lost in our society. Loth does not permit it.
I see.
Thank you, Robert Tilvin, former slave of the Drow. I will leave you to your research.
Thank you. I hope the knowledge I provided you comes in handy.
Oh, it has restored my dedication. Thank you.
He just nods, though, realizes that the drow can't see it, and he says, "You're welcome."
That he just turns and starts tapping his way back down the aisle, his figure shimmering and fading a couple feet from you.
Robert being nice to a drow, that's surprising.
I need her back.
Alrighty. Back to the rest of you. Thuck. What are you currently doing now?
Researching on lols on the present.
On the present. Besides the information that was already kind of cataloged in the past, there's not much on it. You learn about the fall of one of her outposts, known as Velkenvelv, which brings a smirk to your face as you realize that that was where you escaped from. And the death of one of her high priestesses, as well as the death of one of her chosen, a great spider known as Shikha.
Why, that wonderful. with this information, I just go into my quarters and slam the door shut.
All right, Kara.
I'll be poking around the present library, picking up books on the current of the previous battles that took place in the 4 cities attacked by gnolls. So Arabelle, Thunderholm, Evening Star. Find out what previous large-scale battles also occurred there.
Quickly drip your COA knowledge.
All right, bada boom. As I
City of Arabelle's not canon.
word vomit on you guys all. You learn that area of Cormyr, is basically like a magnet to bad things that happen. Thunderholm currently is cursed by a shade of a dragon. The dwarves are currently attempting to find ways to end that curse. While Arabelle is currently dealing with some illithid problems. And Evening Star was recently attacked by demons.
Is there any information about any beholders in the area?
Negative.
Right. Okay. Then I will just head back to my quarters.
Alrighty. And Maxwell.
I'm going to head to the Drow's quarters.
To Vizeran. Alright. As you tap on the door, it's ripped open by the large toad-like figure, its twisted smile just looking down at you before you hear, "Get out of the way, get out of the way." What is it that you found, my lord?
I found a name of who apparently caused this whole situation.
Yes. Is that the same name that I gave you?
What name did he give me?
The exact same name. Literally, he
Did
already
he?
told you about that, yeah. That's where he told you to start your search.
Oh. I gotta stop blanking out at times. Alright. Yes. I have confirmed that it is. I spoke with a time specter, time ghost, time phantom, whatever you want to call it. But from the future, he confirmed it. It was whatever caused by that arch.
Grumph Baneray, yes.
Yep.
So you came to tell me things I already knew? Did you bother to look into it yourself?
I suppose I should, eh? I suppose that's what I will do now.
If I might make a suggestion, since you seem naive to the ways of the crystal, go to the annals of the past, pull out your crystal, and ask it to show you what it was that Grumph Baneray has done.
Very well. Thank you. I'll be heading now. I'll be heading out to do that now.
Hmm. Come back when you actually have something, then.
And with that, Maxwell turns around and heads back into the library. So does his crystal still have? Does my crystal still have enough like energy in it?
You did
Can I
not
tell?
have a vision today, so yeah.
I'm gonna go do that then. I'm gonna go to the past library and ask it to show me what Gromp Bainray did.
As once again the crystal flashes before your eyes and your vision fades, it returns, revealing an imperious drow arc wizard in shadow silk robes, casting a mighty conjuration spell. As the ritual draws toward its conclusion, a web of fair race energy expands outward. The wizard seems alarmed by this, his efforts to complete the spell growing more crazed as he realizes he's lost control. And then, madness. Rifts open in the web of energy around him. These cracks stretch and widen. Through them come horrific fiends that scream, shriek, and howl as they are wrenched from the abyss and cast into the Underdark. A woman's deep, dark laugh echoes in your mind as the drow wizard shrinks away from the demonic hordes he has unwittingly unleashed. As you study the vision, you notice an insignia on the wizard's chest. It's the iconography of Menzo Brandson's drow house, known as House Bainray.
All right. Do I see like any specific demon lords or anything in the vision coming out of the portal?
You see a slimy substance float through, and then a woman covered in strange-looking fungi peep her head out of a crack and disappear into the darkness. The shrieking howl of Demogorgon causing you to shiver as you remember when you faced him down. Comes.
In Jimtar, and I see a demon lord, and I can't think of the
Myconid
stools.
place?
Yes, Myconids.
That would be the one that the woman
Was
covered in
guy?
fungi.
Okay.
Then you see Demogorgon. Its
The
wailing
toads.
baboon head. It's kind of poking out as its tentacles pull it all the way through, and it shrieks as it sprints into the Underdark. As the rifts kind of come to a close, you noticed one demon lord was missing. Well, actually two. Sorry. The first one being Fraz Blue, the trickster, and the other being the Queen of Spiders. Lolth herself did not come through the portal. But one thing that you did pick up on, coming through one of the cracks, a gem hurtles through, and it is picked up by a Duergar who's traveling in the area. As he looks it over, he tucks it away and starts shuffling off in the same direction that Demogorgon had headed, as the vision fades from your mind.
Right. I'm going. Am I able? Am I still able to search the library for books at least?
Yes.
Did I like see what the gem looked like? Was it like a specific looking gem, or was it just like a gem?
You didn't quite get a good look. You just saw it caught your eye because it was one glimmer of light in the darkness.
All right. I'm gonna look into the history of House Bainray. Yeah.
Alright. As you look through the history analogs, you find that House Bainray was the first drow house of Menzoberranzan and had been for centuries, as long as anyone in the city could remember. It was the oldest and strongest and most prestigious house in the city. The story of House Bainray's ascension to the premier rank in the city is not known by any living drow. The only person who might know the history is Gravenhollow Bainray, the former matron mother who took power originally. To the drow of Menzoberranzan, Bainray just was, and always had been, the first house. History shows that even during periods of strife and political change, House Bainray has always able to retain its position of power. Even with the death of Gravenhollow Bainray during the failed invasion of Mithril Hall in 1358, the first house's power could not be usurped. Triel Bainray, the first and most powerful daughter of Gravenhollow, took her mother's place as supreme leader. Soon after the death of Gravenhollow, House Bainray was at its weakest it had been for centuries. During the silence of Lolth in 1372 and 1373, particularly during the slave revolt and then siege of Menzoberranzan by the Duergar, Triel struggled to secure her hold over both her house and her city. She sought allies along the other houses, particularly House Zorlarin, and cultivated a close ally relationship with House Mizrim. During the siege of Menzoberranzan in 1372, there were only 7 wizards of House Bainray: Nasruor, Chulani, Grendon, Nuri, Zoran, Proth, and Gromph Bainray. Julani was killed towards the end of the siege when a lightning bolt that he cast struck a scrying gem and reflected back on him, while the others were while the others had fallen to old age, except for one, Gromph Bainray, an Archmagus and the eldest son of Gravenhollow. He is rumored to be the oldest drow known to man. No one really knows his secret, but his power was undeniable. After the spell plague... Oh, actually, no, never mind, sorry. Shh, ignore that.
It never existed.
Never existed!
Retcon.
Retcon.
That was during 4E, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's funny that it was written out of the entire story.
Just gone.
because 4E was hated so bad, the writers just were like, yeah, no, get rid of that.
And then
Didn't
5e
happen.
came out, and thankfully 5e is really good, actually.
I feared, because it was, again, really simple, that it was going to be oversimplified like 4E, but
It's
actually
not.
it's nice. Yes, it's simplified and there's not as many numbers, but
That's nice sometimes.
it's not 4E simplified where you snap your fingers and you win the fight.
Yeah, right. Anyways,
Anyhow,
so
Grumph is viewed as one of the greatest wizards in the world. The only wizard who, as you can find in your studies, that could be argued to be a greater wizard is Elminster.
Talk.
You're a warlock, not a wizard. Sit down.
the Elminster's the guy I talked to.
Correct.
Look, I kind of. So, Grump is still alive then? There is no record of his death?
Not in the past.
Time to go to the present. Unless. Is Maxwell feeling tired yet? Like,
Yeah.
does Maxwell.
Yeah.
Maxwell's gonna. Well, Maxwell's gonna return to his room at least. Considering he doesn't know how much time he's spent in the library. Like, all he knows is that his body will tell him when to stop. Because there's no watches or phones and, D&D.
Not until you create one. Leona has one. Not a phone, but a watch.
You know what?
There's a feat that can give you an internal clock, so you always know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a way to tell that. It's just look up. Oh, there's the sun.
Yeah, but no, I mean like.
But
it
you're in
can
the
tell you
Underdark.
exactly what time it is. We're 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 42 seconds away from sunset.
Anywho.
I mean, if you were like super smart, you could just tell that.
I mean, that feat is called Keen Mind, so.
It makes sense.
Yeah, ho, ho, ho. As everyone rests, they find themselves once more rested, food laid out for them, water, and they're able to return to their studies. Start with Kara today. What are you planning on studying?
I'm gonna travel to the past library. We're gonna look into powerful beholders that lay slain or missing.
I'll be right back, by the way.
Alrighty. As you kind of look through it, there don't seem to be any specific beholders in history, considering their aberrations and not actually native to the material plane. But there are stories of several beholders that were slain by great heroes of the past. But rudely, none of them stopped to catch their name.
Is there locations in which these beholders seem to pop up more popular than anything else?
No. Beholders seem to be, they're very xenophobic. So they tend to avoid
Otherworldly contact.
yeah, especially from each other. But sorry. You do know that there are rumors of what is known as an elder orb, a beholder born with an amazing longevity near immortality. But that's about it.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back, Suki.
Elderborn. The Elder Eye.
Elder orb.
Does the passage
What did I
say
miss?
anything about possible locations?
Real quick. Morty, it's just basically been researching and whatnot. Everyone's still researching right now. You do find information on one particular elder orb. One known as Arglath. It was a beholder of monstrous size from Ultul, and one of the Midas beholders to escape the city's destruction. At one point, it tried to conquer the twisted tower of Ashaba in Shadowdale, but it was destroyed by the Archmagus Elminster Amar.
The Elder Orb was destroyed.
Correct.
So goes into the future and searches for himself.
You're looking for yourself?
Yes.
I hate you.
You're the first one to do this. Like, I was really tempted to do that, actually, when I went to the future one. I was like...
Lego Dimension.
Sorry.
You lay dead.
As Killer was telling me, see if I die heroically.
You lost all your temp HP.
As
You
you
died.
search,
When did I die? Tomorrow.
as you search for yourself in the future libraries, there's only one mention of Thok the Undefeated. The mention of how he once nearly single-handedly took down an ancient black dragon.
As I have the book in my hand, I burn it.
As you alight the book, it catches fire and it burns to cindering ash, and then reappears on the shelf where you took it down from.
Frustrated, I cast Burning Hands at the entire bookshelf.
As you do this, you hear a deep rumbling from the earth around you as several Grabadurg appear. The dark, rocky
And haul ass
figures
away.
start rolling after you quickly.
And as I'm running away, oh shit, I don't actually have thaumaturgy. I'm just yelling, "It's time to live!"
As you shout it out,
It just going out like a fire siren. Time to leave, time to leave, time to leave. Running.
as you run through the libraries, You realize that your cries fall on deaf ears. No one hears you.
Is there a corner anywhere?
There's many
I'm running?
corners.
So I just hide behind a corner, draw out my sword, and I would like to rage.
Alright. As this happens, the rocks come turning the corner, and they look at you.
And I'm going to bash the first one to come in.
Alright, roll your attack.
And this is a reckless strike, so it comes with advantage.
Wow.
As you slam down the first time, your blade chips away at the rock. Before you lift up again, you slam it down, your rage, and it slices right through the grabber door as 6 more take its place.
Well played, Doc. Well played.
Thanks, mate.
At least you had the balls to do it.
As
I'm with
the
me then. I'll take them all down.
as the figures all kind of sprint towards you. Hit. Ah! Stop rolling. Oh no! Unbalanced table for the fail. Hit miss. Hit miss. So that's 3. Please take 18 points of damage as their rocky fists kind of start pummeling you. And then make me a Constitution saving throw.
Did I kill the first one?
Correct. But it slowly begins to reform.
But did
Actually,
he get 10 HP?
the correct question would be, did I reduce it below? Did I reduce it to 0 or below?
No.
No, get 10 HP. Okay.
Rip, you're gonna die.
Not by their hand.
Constitution,
And the
not strength.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
There we go.
As the rocks kind of fall away, you look up and you meet eyes with the basilisk that led you here. And you feel kind of how the dragon felt. As your body turns to stone. And you become a statue in the halls of Gravenhollow. We'll get back to you, Thok.
Yes.
Rip, this is revenge!
Yes!
But it's bullshit. The dragon needed 3 Constitution saves. I just needed 1. What the fuck is this game?
That's because
Fucking
a basilisk's stare is a lot more powerful than your spell, good sir.
Fuck that. I'm gonna take a basilisk as a pet.
You know, Robert actually had that chance, and then he just smashed the fucking egg.
He's like, nah, fuck this. He did murder children right there.
This is true.
They're creature children. They don't count.
Robert, are you still there? Or are you puking?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to do for your research for the day?
For the day. I am going to research any divine champions of Tyr there might be in the past.
You read of quite a few, actually. What specifically are you looking for?
Their deeds.
Okay.
I'm out of details. I'm sad.
What?
I'm out of the stuff I drink. I am sad.
Bitch. He's making me look up a bunch of shit.
We're making you look up some weird ass shit, aren't we?
Yeah, basically.
Why don't we just all ask about ourselves in the future? And before we're all kicked out of the library just for doing that.
You are, though the names are many, you don't find any that, oh god damn, fucking ads. You don't find any that necessarily stick out, but you do know of the 3 main holy orders: the Knights of Holy Judgment, the Knights of the Merciful Sword, and your order, the one that you are now a member of, the Hammers of the Grimjaw, or Hammers of Grimjaws.
The ones who got killed?
No. Those were paladins that were working under Pyramus.
Oh, that's better, I guess.
Like what? I need a little bit more to go on. What exactly are you looking for?
I'm looking for their deeds that they, the deeds that they did before they became champions.
They vary. Some save an orphanage. Some fight against demons that would normally have brought low, most mortal men. But generally it's very, it's varied, honestly. Many. Hold on.
Did you cut out or did you just stop talking?
I just stopped talking.
There was a lot of confusion in that silence.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly very, like, dependent.
That makes sense.
But the champions of Tyr are basically pecked, and let me see if any of these have any fucking background info. Nope, because no one likes writing about fucking Tyrans.
Because of the fucking, like...
Justice!
They're like the...
Justice!
Justice!
That's it. That's all they are. It's just justice!
They're
Justice!
literally like the textbook
Justice.
paladins. Like, think about it.
The worst part is, okay, so the only one that I can actually really find, the only ones I can find information on are a fallen paladin of Tyr, and a paladin of Tyr that eventually became an Archlich.
Oh,
Weird.
So,
something so. Get fucked.
Being a paladin of Tyr is so boring they went the other way.
yeah, one became an Archlich, and one ended up falling from grace with Tyr after he lost the use of his right hand and began to worship the deity Cyric.
Fuck his shit. I'm out.
Lost my hand, going to an evil god. Peace.
I didn't lose my hand. It's still there.
So yeah.
I can imagine
Anyway,
that's probably how
that's
he
what
is.
you would find. Anything else you'd like to research?
No.
No.
Well, I'll look up the history of Dawnbringer. So, if there is indeed history of her.
Now, Robert, tell me, have you heard of our Lord and Savior Hank Hill?
I sell
I think he
propane
makes the
and
heathen
propane
suffer for
accessories.
pain.
You learn that Dawnbringer was formed between the bond of two star-crossed lovers, born scions of rival merchant houses. Two angels, given mortal flesh, were sent to guard them, but in a great battle, yeah. Yeah, at first it looked as though love would conquer all, but those who hate the word peace with a passion so great that it poisons everything they touched turned it foul, turning house against house, mother against child, and subsequently ended in the death of the maiden. Though she died, the husband, or the lover, decided to take up an oath to Lathander, thinking instead of continuing down the path of darkness that his family had wrought, he would then try to serve Lathander. And yeah, sorry, I'm bullshitting this. Serve Lathander, and in compensation for their failure, the angels brought back the spirit of his lover, and with her permission, forged the weapon Dawnbringer and gifted it to him. Upon his death, it became an artifact of the church, but its history kind of goes dark after it was entombed with one of their highest ranking order, and the tomb fell in one of the great shiftings of earth. So that explains how it came to be in the tomb in the Underdark.
Alright. Robert looks at the hilts of Dawnbringer and just pats the pommel.
You're a good sword.
Maxwell. What's your plan?
Yo. I'm a I'm gonna do what Killer wants me to do and research sausage. No, I'm kidding.
You find that
I'd like
sausage
to-
was the great hero of the realms. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Anyways, let us go to the present library and look up Grom. Try to figure out, see, like, if he's. I'm gonna look for death records of Grom in the present.
There are none.
Alright. I'm also gonna look up, since I've heard this name, Elminster. See if he's in the present or if he's only. Well, he was also in the past. Huh.
Minster is everywhere.
He really is, isn't he?
He travels through time on a whim and most occasionally forgets where he is.
The
Calm down.
oldest record of Elminster is the record of his birth in 212 DR. So,
Nothing damage resistance.
nearly
But how-
1,000 years before your time. Nearly 1,000 and
Oh.
a half.
Wow. Wait. Holy shit, he's old.
Almost as old as my socks.
Nice.
What exactly would you like to know about him?
Hmm. Any great deeds he has done. Has he done anything heroic?
Actually, from the oldest records that you can find, after his family was killed by Malagrim, dark shapeshifter, he took up his father's broken sword, the Lion Sword, the symbol of the great king of the Stag Throne, who was Elminster's grandfather. He became a brigand and a thief at the ripe age of 12. He soon realized, however, that he had no taste for killing and gave it up, and he went to become a burglar in the city of Hestarl, the capital of Athelantar. He met and formed a bond of friendship with a young thief named Farrell. They committed many acts of thievery together and lived life fully, later forming the gang the Velvet Hands, in opposition to a rival gang, the Moonclaws, who were servants of the Mage Lords. Later, during a burglary, Elminster met the Magistar of the time, Dorgan Stonecloak Himalothotokola.
Sound like me.
Lothar, the wizard who bore the mantle of Azuth's power. When asked if he was interested in learning sorcery, Elminster refused, as he hated all mages because of the Mage Lords. After many adventures, Elminster was visited by Mystra, the goddess of all magic. She tarried with him and left the awestruck Elminster with the message that he should learn magic and worship her. Soon thereafter, while he was still a young adult, Mystra transformed Elminster into a woman to strengthen his bond with magic and to know what it was to be a woman. Basically, Mystra fucked with him until he decided to worship her.
Look at this guy.
He learned quite a bit about magic, reaching the point where he could finish taking his revenge against the evil Mage Lord who usurped the kingdom. After a terrific battle, Elminster persevered and assumed the throne of Athelantar. However, no sooner had he gained the kingship than he passed it to one of his friends, Helm Stoneblade, a knight of Athelantar. Elminster stated that he had wanted to avenge his family's death, not become a monarch, and he and the avatar of Mystra, who had been training him, left the kingdom. The Mage Royal, Undaro, attacked them, and the sorceress revealed herself to be Mystra. She offered to take Elminster, one of her chosen, and he readily accepted. His deeds continue on for many, many years, and he eventually, there's a lot of stuff about him plane traveling, time traveling. There's even rumors that he visited a strange place known as Earth. And met a... hold on. And met a strange but eager man, a writer and a designer of games known as Ed Greenwood.
No, he's called Ed of the Greenwood.
Ed of the Greenwood, I apologize. Ed of the Greenwood. But yes. So yeah. Anything else you'd like to know?
Nope. But I would like to go to the future library.
Okay.
I'd like to go to the present.
Alright, we'll go with Kara real quick. What are you looking for in the present?
I'll do that.
Alright.
I'm gonna go to the present and search for any eye tyrants or eye orbs that exist within our current year, and ask the crystal if there are any that it is aware of.
Give me a second. Though there isn't much information on any eye tyrants or anything, you do know that, or you do learn that there's a maimed beholder named Lorthun who wanders around the Dark Lake area of the Underdark. As well, it kind of varies. Seeing as he's maimed, he does not, he's unable to fight off a lot of creatures. So actually, hold on.
Darthun?
Lorthun.
Lorthun.
Oh, sorry. He actually works with the group of mercenaries, thieves, and all around dark folk known as the Zentarum. But
Okay.
you also find that another beholder stalks the area around the Dark Lake. A strange, curious, yet terrifying specimen of his kind. Zazax, the Eyemonger, whom seeks out and kills other beholder and steals their eye stalks and grafts them to his own body. And Foley, what are you looking up?
While in the future library, I am gonna look up any knowledge on the Bayoran Empire.
You learn that the Bayoran Empire survives for quite some time. Its reach stretches far and wide across the ring world, accepting many a kingdom into its fold. Eventually, all of the lands known as Turil, aka the lands you are in now, end up joining the Empire or falling. It's led by Orin Longaxe, the son of Auric, with his advisor and mother, Irene Longaxe, formerly of the Goldfang clan.
All right.
At this, you feel the library shift a little bit underneath you. And though you were standing in the library of the future, you find yourself now standing, outside the halls of the past, which, give me a second. You actually look up, and you notice for the first time an inscription carved upon the door in Dwarvish. It reads, "The past is a crystal, for it can be seen from many facets, yet it always remains the same." And at that, I'm going to give you a little snippet into the past of Auric Longaxe.
Yay! Knowledge!
I'm gonna casually head to the future library, not under guise of attempting to search for anything specific, but just to
Alright.
do it.
Still a beautiful statue.
Yep.
You know,
In the
like
future
even more than
library. So, question where the other two went.
The flash of the crystal before you reveals Auric, quite young, no wrinkles across his face, no gray streaking his beard, standing next to a proud-looking man with a crown upon his head and a large golden warhammer in his hands. Or a dwarf, sorry. The dwarf speaks. "It is an honor to have you as mine kin." As he speaks, looking up to a tall, almost half-elven looking figure that you immediately recognize as Aragon, Auric's master. The one who Auric studied under as a dragon rider. "And you mine," Aragon replied. With a laugh, the king moved on to speak to the great blue dragon, known as Saphira. "Saphira, that's what she's called," Auric remembered, as you hear his thoughts echoing in your mind. He remembered seeing her when they pulled Aragon from the waterfall, and again over an army of Urgles as they defended their home. He could still feel the heat of dragon fire that lingered far after the battle had finished. And here we are, praising a human for becoming a dwarf. With a scoff, Oric turned his attention back to the men around him, the king's guard. Axatus uendagrimst! He heard the call, and he answered. His axe slipped from its holster as he roared, Vorathgar Gorda! Vorathgar's Gorda! The crimson wave washed over him faster than he thought. No stranger to battle, Oric was taken aback by the human faces staring back at him, as death washed over them. Fear spread through their ranks. He was not used to this. An Urgle does not back down from a fight. But these humans, bah! A dirk slipped under his mail and pierced his shoulder, glancing off a stud in his armor. His mailed fist swung up, sending the teeth of the soldier flying as he crumpled. He flung the blade into the man's chest as he swung his axe up, catching another, splitting him from groin to ribs. Blood sprayed over him and washed the dust from his mouth. The taste made him want to hurl, but he could find no respite. He chopped and cleaved and swore and bled late into the afternoon. His ankle was dislocated, blood streaming from his shoulder and calf. Muttering spells under his breath, the blood lessened as he searched the armies for his men frantically. Being out in the open was dangerous. He sprinted forth as he caught a glimpse of Voland, the warhammer of King Hrothgar, in the fray. He was 20 paces from the king, and he could see his father's beard whipping through the air as if he commanded a fire all of his own. His cousin lay wounded behind Magnus, his father's unit. But he could not think of that. The king must be protected. Turning back toward Hrothgar, he doubled his speed, barreling through a group of spearmen, keeping the king's guard at bay. He felt the spine of the first snap under his weight as he drove the head of his axe up under the jaw of a second, and his short sword pierced the throat of a third. He was too late to realize the hulking figure flying ahead of him was red. The rider of the great red beast raised his left arm, and in an instant the world heaved. Blood filled his mouth as he retched, and he watched as his king's body fell next to his. The darkness took him. Oric woke to a ringing in his head as his father gave him a clout. Around him men groaned and scrambled for life. The majority of his brothers in arms were fallen. The mages protecting the king lay in a circle around Hrothgar, his hands folded over Voland. Tears rose in his eyes, and for a moment the world knew his grief. His shouting drew the attention of some of Varden, but many were of the same mind. The blood was dry, but this war would drown them all. His blade was quicker than his father's hand as he trailed it up under his own chin. It bit the soft flesh of his throat, but he had no care. His beard dropped to the ground, burning up on impact, adding the smell of burnt hair to the aroma of death in the area. Black dragon or red. He would plant his axe in the skull of the human king and any who swore him loyalty. His kin saw him. Many too drew their daggers and knives, parting with the whiskers of their chins. As the vision fades back, your body kind of heaves as you heard of that battle. The battle that almost drove Oric to insanity. Battle that he rarely ever talked of, but he always deemed it his greatest failure. At that, you look around and realize that you're surrounded by all three librarians, their arms folded. Lord Maxwell, it seems you and your household have overstayed your welcome.
My household?
At that, the library once again shifts, and you see Kara. Sorry, how do you say your name properly, Lucas?
Karazir?
Karazir, and Robert, both kind of walking up different lanes of books, both headed in the same direction to Thok, standing, sword drawn up over his head, with the basilisk, its head down, just still staring at the ground, and several Grobdur surrounding him. Thok has been turned to stone.
Son of a bitch, what did Doc do?
I imagine that's quite obvious, Maxwell. He clearly disobeyed the rules here.
I didn't think Doc was that dumb.
This one.
Clearly, you thought wrong.
Obviously.
This one here. I have high hopes for him, he says sarcastically.
You were to be disappointed sooner or later. Alright, what are we doing with him? Maxwell turns to librarians. Are we just able to take him and leave the library then?
You may leave in peace, but know, if he or your family ever return here, you will all become permanent members of the Hall of Statues.
Right.
Or not to.
You know he's not part of my family, right? He's just a moron I'm traveling with.
Then you should pick more wisely which morons you travel with.
Sadly, I didn't have a chance to choose. Alright. Robert, let's just get him out of here. Kara, you wanted to follow us?
Sure. I've
Come on.
completed what research I need to today.
Good. I know where we should strike next anyways. How do you pronounce the Drow city?
Menzoberranzan.
Menzoberranzan? We're heading to Menzoberranzan. There's a Drow archmage that I need to speak to.
Could be dangerous. Drow don't take kindly to outsiders. Drow don't take kindly to Drow, even.
You should see shoulder pads with Drow. It's entertaining.
Robert just grunts.
Lovely.
Now come on, let's get the moron out of here.
As you guys go to move off, you find that the path behind Thok is now a staircase leading up to the bridge that you guys crossed to enter Gravenhollow. As the Grabardur carry the statue of Thok out, the great gates open before you, the basilisk leading the way, and you see, more specifically for Karazir, since he has yet to actually witness either of them. First, you notice the large sky blue figure of a dragon, a little bit bigger than an elephant, just looking and just shaking her head as you all approach. As the statue of Thok is placed directly outside of the gate, you then see a rather strange-looking beholder spin out from behind the dragon and run up. Master! What did you do? Oh no! And he starts licking the statue furiously as the basilisk reaches forward with its nose, taps Thok's foot, and the stone starts to recede. The gates slam behind you. and then, with a shimmer, they disappear into a solid stone wall, along with the two stone golems that stood guard beside it.
Fuck. The fuck did you do?
Burned a book or two.
Why?
It was about me. I didn't like it.
What did it say about you?
Nothing of interest. It was more because the book existed.
So you fear people
You are
knowing
a
about
sad, strange little man. Robert shakes his head and walks off.
it? Come on.
Anyways,
Anyways, we have a place to go.
Before we were so rudely evicted from this, I learned where Lolth is.
Where is she?
You remember that tiny little prison we were at the start of our adventure?
Please don't tell me she's there.
Is there?
No.
Fuck.
Roll a deception if you're lying. Otherwise,
That was an entire truth.
No. You know she's in the abyss still. You know that from the current records of Lolth that one of her champions was the priestess that was holding you guys at the prison. That's what you
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to roll deception on that.
Are you going to correct your statement, or is that what you were just telling them?
That's what I'm telling them.
Okay.
And why the hell is she there?
Let's go and find out.
No, I think I would rather go to Marazabone, or fuck, I don't
Look,
know.
I just gave an option.
You don't even know the other options. You were stoned.
Exactly.
At that, you
Look,
hear
Instead of bickering here, let's go.
you hear a voice coming from a shadow behind you. Well, if you are looking for options, perhaps I can supply one. You see Vizeran and his slad companion step out from the shadows. You have finished your research, I take it?
More or less.
Yes.
Shut up, Doc.
Well then, I shall tell you what I have learned in my own research. That fool Grumph brought the demon lords down upon us, with his demon queen pulling his strings all the while. He has given Lolth free rein in the abyss. My own research leads me to believe Grumph used Fair's to achieve such a summoning, though I am sure he didn't intend this result, the imbecile. I can save you months of research, time we clearly do not have. The information I found here has confirmed my theories, and I know how to banish the demon lords back to the abyss. We can do this only if we work together. If you are willing and daring enough to directly challenge the demon lords, or perhaps, he looks over at Thok, foolhardy is the better word.
Well, you're coming foolhardy. Yes, that's true. Correct.
Despite my better interest, I know I can't run from him forever.
Then, I suggest you all come and join me at my tower, known as a Raj. It's a stronghold, and we can discuss the matters there. I do not wish to discuss plans in detail here, for the walls here literally have ears and echoes linger forever.
Do rocks have ears?
Well, considering any part of the library can come alive at any moment, as your friend there, he points to Thok, no doubt has learned.
Well, we'll discuss our options.
Towards the tower.
Maxwell gestures the group to come together. So, are we trusting this drow?
What better option do we have?
To go after demons ourselves.
I know the archmage who, brought the demons into this world is still alive. He's considered one of the most powerful mages in the world. And I know where he is. Possibly. We could just go after him.
Or we can go kill demons.
If we go after him, we can kill demons.
Fun game. Let's go.
Shoulder
don't need
pads?
to we don't need to consult more. Let's go.
I believe Morty took off for a little bit.
Oh. I wanted shoulder pads to chime in with the haven't you ever heard of? You know what, screw it, I'm not gonna complete the sentence.
Shoulder pads to die. Honorable death.
The shoulder pad has already died an honorable death. He will be more than happy to repay the favor. Let's go.
As you guys turn around, Vizaran looks at you. So, what is your plan then?
First, we're gonna actually go find. Hold on, let me look up his name. I have it written down, I just kind of forgot it. We're gonna go find Gromp. If
Good
if
luck
that
with
doesn't
that.
we do.
You realize he was destroyed, correct?
There's no records of his death.
So, you do not need to die to be destroyed. That spell took its toll upon him. He is locked away in the halls of his family as they attempt to hide their shame and recuperate after the attack upon Menzo Baranzan.
Can I tell if he's lying or not?
Roll an insight.
Nat 20.
As far as you can tell, he seems to be telling the truth.
Alright, guys, maybe we should believe him.
Yes, that's a good idea, considering from what two of your companions have said. Your biggest aspirations are to throw yourselves at the feet of the demon lords and be crushed beneath them. Whereas I actually have a plan.
Plans have a tendency of going over far better than reckless abandon.
We've had plans too. They've worked out so far. We're not dead yet.
Kara will glance at Thork briefly, then turn back to the drow.
Well, Thok, should we just go with him for now?
If it leads to quick killing, yes.
Let's go.
Tired of books.
You're not a knowledge man, are you?
I tend to learn by mistakes.
You have a lot of those, don't you?
None.
Right, let's get going. And as we leave, Shoulder Pads just swears a lot because we are now working with the Drow.
Yep, basically.
Aha! I have deleted myself from the map.
Hey!
Why'd you go and do that? No, you didn't. You're still there.
Didn't like the company. Committed suicide.
There we go.
Fuck these three guys. They've spent all of their time in the underdog. They must be mad. I'll just leave my
You're
throat
not
before I
wrong.
become one of them.
I'm pretty sure all of us are borderline insane by now.
I mean, I've been insane from day one.
All of you
I
guys
don't know
are
shit.
suffering from some form of permanent madness. Or, no, actually, you guys are not because you were cured. Well, Thok wasn't because you can't cure what, you know.
You can't cure Thok.
Box.
But Robert Maxwell were cured by Pyramus.
Thank you, Pyramus. Oh, that's the question.
As you all travel along down the tunnel, following Vizeran, you get to the end of the tunnel, and it opens up into a part of the Underdark that none, aside from Robert, have traversed yet. You visibly see Robert pale a little bit as memories of his past flood through him, and he shivers a bit before steeling himself and pressing forward, head down. After a couple days of travel, your rest is disturbed by a strange sounding ritual nearby. You hear a soft prayer in common. As, one second. Okay. As you hear, Sharasar, give me strength. Sarasar, give me the will to carry on. Sharashar, guide me through the pain. Sharashar, give the pain back tenfold to my enemies. As you guys move to investigate, you come around the corner to see a red-haired woman, pale complexion with several scars adorning her face, whipping what seems to be a Svirnaplin that is chained to a rock. Morty, are you back or are you still down?
I take a jump out from behind the corner and just yell, "Friend or foe?"
She spins around and she cocks her head to the side. That depends on who you are, exactly.
Fuck Darkflame, the undefeated king of the Underdark.
I have not heard your names from my goddess, so I assume we are not enemies. My name is Scarlet, a priestess of Scarazar. As you get a good look at her leather armor is stylized in that of the clergy of whom you guys recognize as a, like, the symbol on her chest is, give me a second. Oh, it's killer. Okay. Freaking Kirsch popping up notifications, but she's killer messaged me on Twitch. Anyway, I need to look. Oh wait, I could just, yeah, whatever. Ooh. I don't fucking know. Anyway, you see that the symbol on her chest is that of a bladed whip. A single whip, not a cat of nine tails, which is what you guys are normally accustomed to in seeing on the worshippers of the goddess Leviatar.
So, why are you whipping that bitch?
He is a sacrifice to Scarazar. As you look over, you see his back is almost completely flayed open. It seems like she's been doing this for quite some time.
Well then, just as I walk towards her and him, I take out my great sword and you say, well then, let me help you on a bit of that, and just attempt to decapitate this poor person who is being whipped.
Alright. As you swing your sword down, you cleave whoosh, right through the neck as the head tumbles to the side, and Robert comes around the corner. What is the meaning of this? As the woman scowls at you, Thok. What have you done to my sacrifice? He was not supposed to die. As she
Well, now he's dead.
curls her whip up and kind of cracks it at her side, glaring at you.
Shut up, bitch, or you're next.
Roll an intimidation.
During this, I'm going to
28.
I'm going to sneak around up and just watch the scene play out without attempting to be seen by anybody.
As you tell her that, she smirks and goes, you think you can take down the chosen of Scarazar? Try me, fiend. And she whoosh, whips out at you with her whip. Twice. The first one goes over your head, as you duck down and you turn to strike at her. The second one whoosh, lashes you around the neck, and you feel the bite of the blade sinking into you. Roll a strength check. As you try to pull back, she yanks it down, and you literally get launched forward and drop down on your face.
Before anything else,
I would have voluntarily run forward anyways.
Well, it doesn't really matter. She still yanked hard enough and like pulled you down face first. Whoosh. Maxwell?
Morty, I can't hear you. Anyway. Sorry. By the way, Morty is here, but his mic's apparently not working. Anyways, I'm back. Before anything else can happen, I come out from around whatever corner that I was hiding behind. Look at Doc, say Letta, just freezing him. Well, stopping him, not, like turning him into ice. Not killing him.
Okay.
And then look, alright, what's going on?
As you see before you, Maxwell, you did walk up while you saw her still whipping the Svirnaplin. Yeah, Morty, or Robert, you did not see her whipping the Svirnaplin, but now that you look at the headless corpse, it actually appears to you that Thok was giving the Svirnaplin mercy, as she had been what seems to have been just whipping its back ruthlessly, like its back is completely flayed open. You can actually see the back of its ribs sticking out. And yes, please everybody roll initiative.
I suck at these. I mean, I don't have a token. I have a token.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just gonna use Finian as hers.
Is it working now?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Now.
Yes, hello, Mort.
Helling
Welcome
fun.
Welcome back.
Seemed like the microphone just decided to stop working midway through. Yes, I've been here the entire time, and I just eventually gave up because no one was answering me.
I apologize.
Oh.
I thought you were gone.
Welcome back to the world of vocalness, at least.
Yeah, I was honestly about to call the session because I didn't want you to miss out on this because I was giving you the decision of how you want to approach this.
For all intents and purposes, I'm hostile to both Thok and Karazir.
Alright, I'm
did I do?
going
I didn't do anything.
to Karazir. Why are you hostile to
No,
Karazir?
I thought Karazir was the girl, whatever the girl's name is.
No,
Scarlet.
Scarlet.
Scarlet, yeah.
Hostile to me. What did I do?
You or you.
I'm attempting to stealth into this situation.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth just starting off because you did say that before the initiative. I'm gonna
Okay.
use.
By the way,
What was that?
want me to roll the magic that I did for Thok?
Yeah, just for the energy that you used. Actually,
Yeah.
wait. What a Let is like 5 energy, right?
Let me look. God, it's been such a long time since I've used it.
Yep. But Thok, go ahead and roll me a Constitution to start out.
14.
14.
Your rolls tonight have been lackluster.
On point.
It's an 18 save. By the way, it's apparently wisdom, not constitution for
Okay, roll a wisdom then.
Okay.
I forget the
22.
There you go.
There you go.
Fuck! You're welcome, Ledge, for actually pointing that out.
but Thok is still face first on the ground.
And on that point, I would like to rage.
'Tis not your turn yet, sir.
Throwing a tantrum on the ground. Damn it, damn it, damn it.
Temper tantrum.
All I can imagine is Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Anyways, I'm not gonna attack. I'm just gonna be like, alright, why were you whipping that sneer on the this?
It's Fear Niblin.
Yes.
You already heard her say that it was a sacrifice to her god. Yes.
Okay, why were you about to sacrifice that sneer weapon? God, I cannot fucking say that. After torturing. Thank you. Sneer weapon. Fuck it.
She seems to not be interested in talking right now, as she currently has her whip around Thok's throat.
Alright. With that, I take out Belgrin and attempt to just cut the whip.
Alright, as you sprint forward, you guys are in the upper right-hand corner, by the way. If you didn't know of the map, or of the thing.
There's a long ass whip here.
You're right next to her. I'll run up to it and attempt to cut it with Belgrin.
Alrighty, I'm going to... no, that's my overlay, you shit. Shoo-ba-doop. Can't touch me when I'm singing this song. You easily just slice right through it with Belgrin's magical edge as she turns and glares at you, dropping it to the side and pulling out a long sword. Is that your turn?
No, before I end my turn, I'm just gonna glare at her. Now explain yourself before we have to kill you.
It is the way of my people. Skarazar requires pain to give me my prayers.
Sure you don't want to live? Like, we're probably gonna kill you. Like, if you continue this.
That's only if you can.
Right.
By the way, Killer, told you this was how it was going to go down.
Just remind me to start carrying, like, daggers on me. Next time I go to a city. But how close am I to her, actually?
You're within range.
Fuck it, I'm gonna strike. Guessing one attack and one bonus action? Or one bonus attack?
You get your bonus action since you already used your main action for your attack.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
There we go. Give me a second, I have to look something up. There's a, just so you guys know, there's a cleric domain homebrew called the Pimp domain.
I know what character I'm making.
I'm the cleric of the pimp.
Cleric of pimps.
Cleric assumed following the Pimp domain.
Busting out my grimoire. And Okay, so you're using your mace. You run up and you just bash her right across the face. The green flame kind of lighting her hair ablaze, kind of singeing it a bit. As she scowls at you and then just smirks. The pain just fuels my fire.
I glance behind me to Robert. Yeah, I think she's one of those like creepy ones that like pain.
A
Just
masochist.
kill her.
Fine.
Thok, is your turn.
It's a masochist. Kill it.
So wait, I'm prone on the ground, and
Yes,
I would have my sword at my hand because I used it to decapitate.
correct. You are no
the torture
longer bound by the whip though, so you don't have to break free of that.
So,
You're welcome.
so firstly, I would like to rage, and then instead of getting up, like I would like to go into like a runner position and just jump at her
Okay.
with the sword, point first, and just get on her face and just beat the shit out.
Not using the Maxwell approach of just fuck getting up.
So, what do I roll for this?
Okay, so are you actually attacking with your sword, or are you just like jumping on her to beat the shit out of her?
I'm basically jumping on her, sword point first, from a prone position.
Then that would just be a normal attack then.
Okay. For
I
all
thought-
points and purposes, I'm just getting up and just doing reckless attacks.
Yeah, essentially.
So advantage on the attacks, and also has advantage against me on attacks.
As
So
you
16
swing at
and
her the
29.
first time, she just kind of sidesteps out of the way. But you just growl in rage, and then you just swing sideways at her, cleaving into her side. You pull it away, a large gash opening up in her leather armor against her side. She... Yes. Give me all the pain.
Can we kill her quick?
Kara's here. Your turn.
I'm going to Misty Step behind her as my bonus action. So just suddenly appearing behind her. And then I'll strike her with my booming blade.
Okay.
Yay! Long line list of shit. Or miss.
Yeah, as you kind of lunge forward, she hears the of your because essentially your spell is gone off through your mechanical armor type thing, so it still makes like a little bit of a mechanical whirring type thing.
Yep.
So you weren't as stealthy as you thought you were gonna be, as she kind of just sidesteps to the side and just glares at you before turning her attention back to Thok. Give me un momentum. Please roll a wisdom save, Thok.
12.
As she looks at you and goes, it's not me you want to hurt. It's your buddy there. And she turns and looks to Maxwell. Now, kill him. painfully. And on your next action, you will be forced to attack Maxwell. Robert, 'tis your turn.
Right. Robert strides towards the woman, Dawnbringer in hand, and he slashes at her twice, both with his third level smites.
Charm is a concentration spell, right?
Okay, the first one unfortunately misses. As you rise up and swing down at her again, you do impact upon her. Holy fuck, you do so much damage. I got that. Don't worry. I know.
Okay.
You guys only have 2 attacks? Wow. Coming from the weird wizard fighter thing, I have more than you guys.
As her concentration is broken on Thok, he's able to fight it off before he actually strikes at Maxwell.
Good.
As the holy light kind of bursts from her shoulder where it impacted, and she, I'm not used to this kind of pain, but I'll deal
Robert
it back
shouts out
tenfold.
aloud, "Don't enjoy it, you wretch." Clearly, it angers him.
And Maxwell, it's your turn.
I will be using my cunning action to hide. And with said hiding, I'm also going to put up my hood on my cloak that I always forget about nowadays. So I should be going invisible, and I'm now trying to hide from her.
Okay.
Should I roll? Well,
Nah, you good. She was
Yep.
currently engaged on 3 sides, and you
I'm
threw
just
up your
gonna-
hood, so...
kind of move around to basically her back. And that's how it runs. And then
And I claw
Strike.
her and bite her.
I use my tail. How
Sneak
many
attacks.
hit?
It's beautiful.
Okay, so hit,
How many
miss,
of those
hit. So 3 hits, but basically just roll for the 4 sneak attacks since one of those is a crit.
Alright.
Wait, does sneak attack multiply by crit?
Yes, sir.
What the
85
fuck?
advantage.
That's brutal.
Yep. So, okay. Well, let's just count this down. Okay,
Plus-
so 22 plus 21, that's 43 plus 17, that's 60.
60.
So
145.
145 points of damage in 1 round. Foley.
1 attack.
Foley.
Yeah.
Please tell Killer how you just riggedy wrecked his NPC.
I fucking decimated her, bro.
Rogues.
Would
They
you
can
rather
be
me
so-
describe it then?
Yes.
Okay, but in return, you have to come up with a catchy one-liner, okay? Alright, so you strike at her with Belgrind, and you just kind of like shove it straight through her back, like just barely missing her spine as she... Oh, yes! And then suddenly just crack right upside the back of her head. The green flame kind of lashing out. You rip Belgrind out and try to stab her again. And she kind of like spins on you, barely dodging out of the way, just in time for your second blow to come up and just crack her up under the chin. You see her teeth crack.
That is,
Okay.
as I swing the mace, I just say, "Enjoy this, you freak."
As you smash up into her jaw, you literally see her teeth shatter and begin to fall out of her mouth as her jaw kind of like falls slack to the side, and she just and chokes on her own blood as she crumples over to the side, and you hear the soft
Before she exactly dies.
before she dies.
If you,
Oh, sorry,
if
what
you
ahead?
let me, I would.
Yeah.
Before she exactly dies, I would want to cast imprisonment on that bitch.
What imprisonment are you doing?
I want to trap
I can
her
bring her back to
into.
life. Briefly
Before he can do
Bring her
that,
back to life. Bring her back to life so I can imprison the bitch forever. Underground into a place where she will be in constant pain but cannot feel any pain.
Okay, Robert, what were you saying?
I'm going to power down Dawnbringer, and then I'm going to try to punch Thok right in the face.
Roll your unarmed for me. Roll me a second one. Did either of those hit, Thok? I don't remember your AC. I'm too lazy to look it up.
It's 25, so the second one hit.
Alright, roll me
As they come with advantage as well.
Roll me a... Oh, right, okay. Roll me a constitution check, then.
29.
As you literally just kind of duck under the first blow, the second one comes up right under your chin, just... It actually cracks one of your tusks. Not breaks it, but it cracks it. But despite all that, you still release the spell, and you guys see the body of the woman, like the earth kind of rings up around her arms and kind of wrenches them back with a sickening crack. As you hear her last gurgles of breath, she gets dragged down into the earth, away from your sight. Thok has a knowing smirk on his face, but for all intents and purposes, she is dead.
And I just tap Robert
Am
on
I
the shoulder
aware of
pads
what's
and like, thanks for the kiss, hon.
Am I aware of what just happened? That she's going to be tortured for all eternity?
Roll me
You've not been
an
told.
Arcana.
Roll the one.
Nope.
No.
No.
Thok just gave her a nice burial. Like, maybe Thok's turning over a good leaf, because from what you just witnessed, okay, not only did Thok end that sphere niblin suffering, because even if you guys would have saved him and whatnot, it would have been pretty bad. Like, even the healing process would have possibly pushed him into shock and killed him that way. So he just basically ended the poor guy's suffering, and then he gave her a nice burial. Maybe Thok's becoming... Robert, maybe you're rubbing off on him.
Or maybe I'm rubbing off on Robert.
And stares at Thok, and he says, "Next time, we heal the injured. You don't give them mercy kills when they can be healed."
I could try to bring him back. Maybe.
He's decapitated. Not even my magic can bring a decapitated person back to life.
There is magic that can do that, and that's called necromancy. We're not
We
going to
can
do
find
that.
a necromancer if you like.
No.
Don't even humor the subject, Maxwell.
You know what? I was just pointing out the fact that it is necromancy to bring him back right now, and we don't do that here.
What would be... Okay, Lucas. What would be the spell you would be using? Just,
It would be necromancy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never
Would
mind.
be considered necromancy, and he knows it because he knows what it is.
What spell is it? Just out of curiosity.
Rectify.
Rectify?
Revivify.
Revivify? That is not.
That's not necromancy,
That's not
but
necromancy.
Yeah,
it
it is.
wouldn't
It's
work
under
on
the
a...
school, but
It's not animation.
It's actually
No,
conjuration.
It's not animation.
Just so
My
you know.
book says it's not.
Let me see.
I mean, the technique in which I use it because of the mechanical parts, it's more like shock therapy to potentially get something to start working again. But he's decapitated, so it probably won't work.
Yes, it will not, because Revivify cannot restore any missing body parts.
We still have his head, but yeah, it's completely decapitated.
I mean, okay. 5th edition is saying necromancy, but my thing says conjuration. But hey. Anyway.
Homebrew wins.
Yeah.
You can attempt it if you want. And you can learn my resurrection rules.
I thought you need a more powerful magic to resurrect from a decapitation.
As long as you still have the head, you could technically do it.
I mean, it's not restoring the missing body part. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's just not attached. Well, I'm going to at least go over to the body and examine to see what I can do, because the head is detached, and if it doesn't get reattached, it's not going to do any good to do anything.
You could attempt to reattach the head, but your time is running short if you would like to revivify.
Yes, I would like to try to reattach the head and then revivify, if I can do it quick enough.
As you guys see, he kind of grabs the head and kind of puts it back in place, kind of like adjusts it properly, and you see his third mechanical arm kind of reach forward, and it just drags one of the fingers across the wound, since it was a rather clean cut. It just drags it across the wound, and you see it literally cauterize the wound around its neck, and then you see the hand kind of start shocking the body. Is there anything you three would like to do to help out in this resurrection?
I first look at Robert. So we're trying to bring him back to life, then?
Am I aware that this is a resurrection?
You can assume he's trying to heal the guy, at least. So you can at least add your own magic to the touch of it.
I am going to empower it with the lay on hands to help heal the flayed back.
Vice hail.
I'm just putting my sword, blade first, into the ground, leaning on it, looking at what's happening.
I rolled a 2 and a 1. Good job, me.
Magic. Wow.
How many points are you giving him, Morty? Lay on hands.
Oh.
All of them? Oh shit.
So that is 5 times 12 is 60.
60 points? Alright.
I'm trying. My goal is to get him to at least 1 HP.
That's what
guys-
Revivify does.
Yep.
Alright, woo! Each of you roll me a 1 die 20, please.
Even me, I'm not actually trying to bring him
I
to life.
fucked that up. Don't take that one.
You got a 1. You got a 1.
No, the...
You got a 1!
he put
You
a-
got a 1! Ha ha ha! No, I'm just kidding.
Drip, you want me to roll? I'm just observing.
No, you're good.
The slash messes with it. I'm pretty sure.
You
Don't
got
test that,
one.
hold on.
I think it does.
Did I put in announcements? Yeah, I did.
It does. Okay.
Okay. The backslash. Not.
See, I'm doing a different slash, so... No.
Forward slash does not. Backslash does.
I
Okay.
think this is...
Give me un moment. Alright, so is there anything you guys are actually doing besides just using your spells? I'm talking about roleplay at this point.
So you think this is
Explain
gonna
that I could
work?
attempt to bring him back.
Robert, are you going to say a prayer at all?
Yes, I am. To grant your, what's the word? Immeasurable mercy upon this poor soul whom suffered needlessly and was cut down under the false impression of mercy.
Alright. Maxwell, you going to do anything extra?
Elzarn, do you want to try to help or not?
Go ahead and roll her magic as you feel the flow of power channeling from her to you.
Thanks, Elzarn.
Start.
Out of 2 and a 1. Good job.
Man. As the course of lightning the body twitches and then lays still once more.
Well, that's that. Moving on.
My dice
That's
hate you
close.
guys right now. Like, literally, you guys did not roll above a 10.
Is this in retaliation of us just murdering Killer's NPC?
Oh, no, I hated that NPC. No offense to Killer, but...
I'm gonna put my.
There was no chance that NPC would have survived in the party.
God, no.
I also warned
There
him
was
about that
no
very
chance.
that
No.
very possibility, so...
I'm gonna put my ear to his chest to listen for his heart, which is at this point definitely not beating.
Definitely not beating.
Yep.
Maxwell just shrugs. Come on, we got a tower to reach.
Stand back
I'm just watching, just laying on the great sword until everyone leaves, and I'm at the back of the party.
Robert looks at Thok and says, "Bury him like you buried the woman."
Will do.
And he folds his arm and watches.
What, right now?
Yes.
That took a considerable amount of magic. I can't do that again.
If you managed it up while I was punching you in the face, you can manage it now, can't you?
Do it manually. I cannot bring this one back. Definitely too far gone at this point.
Can't save them all. But we can save, the entire world by stopping the demons.
Okay,
So,
Trip,
We can try.
how many spell slots do you want me to expend to drop another imprisonment? Even as a fake one. Like just going down into the ground.
Roll me your abyssal.
$26.
Just the normal one spell slot. Like, do you have another level, whatever?
I only have level 9. One level 9 slot. But I have rest are just there. Starting from level 5.
Fuck.
I mean, I'm not trying to create the exact imprisonment. I'm just trying to make, like a small bubble and just plummet down the earth.
A third and a fourth level spell slot.
Okay.
as it's quite different than the way the woman went down. It doesn't like grab her arms and pull him back. It more like the earth kind of just kind of wraps around him and then drags him back down. But you do notice that, unlike with the first spell, this one seems to have taken a bit more out of him, as you see an actual sheen of sweat appearing on Thok's face.
Robert nods his thanks and appreciation.
Aw, good guy.
Anything
Thok.
else? Anything else? You want me to make a cross out of something? Or
Why
are
would
you
you
going to do it yourself?
What symbolism could a cross possibly have? Robert crosses his arms.
Thok just shrugs. I don't know about your god.
Roll a religion, Thok. You might not know about his god, but you do recall that you did come across a priest once. You leave out the fact that you murdered him. But before he died, he gripped a cross around his neck. And you could tell that the cross was his holy symbol.
So we're saying Jesus is canon here, right?
Yep.
I like how Folly loses all his money.
I have no money now.
Yeah, I only have money.
I've lost everything every single time I've tried.
I just gamble until I go broke. This is why I'll never gamble in real life.
Speaking of money, do your spells require the components still, Lucas?
Which spell?
Revivify. If so, you lost
Revivify does
300
not
gold.
Revivify, because of the way that I acquired it, it's not
Okay.
actually a spell.
Got you. Just making
It's
sure.
just I can cast the effects of the spell.
Okay.
You know what, Marty? Screw you.
I can only ever do it once.
I was going to quote GTA there, but then I realized it'd be racist.
Probably.
Anyhow, as you
Now,
guys return
with
to...
this- Moving on.
Yeah, you guys return to where your camp was set up. You finish your long rest. And in the morning, you guys once again head out.
Rip in pieces, Scarlet. You didn't last long.
No, he's not. She's not going to rest in pieces. She's going to be tortured.
Rip and
But she
pepperonis.
can. But she's going to be tortured, but she cannot feel the torture.
New level of torture for masochism.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna torture you by not torturing you. I refuse to give you pleasure.
Kinky.
I love imprisonment.
Yeah. The Revivify comes from my mechanist ability called Jump Start.
Gotcha,
And
gotcha.
honestly, if that resurrection would have gone through, I would have just killed him again.
You're an asshole, Thok.
Then I would have killed you.
I would just be like, what the fuck?
Thunder and lightning are very frightening.
Alright.
Galileo.
After...
Galileo.
Hey! Enough. After a few more days of travel, you guys finally come to the end of a short tunnel. As Vizeron steps closer, you see a soft purple light outlining the word Orage on it. though most of you kind of have to scramble through your knowledge of the Drow language, trying to find it. Robert, you instantly recognize it. The word Araj means vengeance. Vizran waves his hand, and the door opens. The passage behind the secret door is narrow enough that you need to move through it single file. Elizran and Kazkan, unfortunately, cannot enter.
So, shoulder pads, how do you feel about working with the Drow?
Well, before you guys get to talking real quick.
I don't really. Yeah.
Before you guys get to talking real quick, you missed that whole part that I just said. Kazkan and Elizran cannot enter. What's the plan with them?
Why can't they enter?
Because it's a tight passage. Like, you guys have to move single file through the passage. You think a dragon and a beholder are going to squeeze through there?
That's right, he's not a little baby beholder anymore, is he?
No.
Why are we entering this, by the way?
This is Vizeron's tower. Or the tunnel to his tower.
Robert looks to Maxwell and says, is she going to be around out here? Alone?
She's with Kazkan. Vizeron, how far into your tower?
Through this tunnel?
For Kaskan, Fox just throws his pet frog at Kaskan and say, "Go fetch." And
and he sprints off after it.
And just says, "Delishran, I don't know about you, but you can go play with him."
She glares at you.
Elizran, are you going to be alright out here?
As long as I don't kill this foul creature, if he annoys me too much, I should be alright.
Very well.
Go right ahead if he pisses you off.
Drip.
Yeah.
What does a belly up brew do?
A what?
A belly up brew.
thought that was a
Fuck
poison.
me. The one time
To be
freaking
fair, I'm
Omega
pretty sure you
sleeps through
haven't
the
told me.
session. The one time Omega sleeps through it. Maybe it's gonna open her thing, maybe not.
I also have a shit ton of Omega's potions. I have no idea what they do, so I'm afraid to use them.
Character sheet.
Half of them are specifically designed to break temp HP.
Belly of poison. Belly of Fuck.
Morty, I love the clip that you sent me, by the way.
No,
Yeah,
it's great.
honestly, fuck it. I'd have to answer that later. Honestly, I'd probably have
Okay,
to
so
ask her.
I was going to give it to Elizran if it was at all useful to her. Instead, I'm going to just give her a hefty amount of Roctopus chunks.
Still have
Salted
those.
Roctopus. Yes, salted. Clearly they survived the years.
She looks down at it and goes, I guess this will be enough sustenance for however long you will take. Thank you, Robert. Hurry back.
Think nothing of it. And then he goes into the tunnel. Big shoulders, making it impossible for anyone to walk next to him.
Alright, as, you move through, you're forced to move through it single file, occasionally turning sideways to squeeze through. It takes about an hour to navigate its pitch black darkness, and the journey is filled with a constant echo of distant sounds. The passage then widens, opening into a cavern whose far walls and ceiling are out of sight in the darkness. Bits of quartz and mica in the stone glimmer as they catch the light, showing a footpath worn into the stone floor. At the end of the path, a vast, dark shape rises, an enormous stalagmite carved into a bleak, black tower.
I'm gonna turn the dials on my monocle, amping up my dark vision.
Okay.
So, you live in that stalactite?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Impressive.
Welcome to Araj. As he steps up to the tower, he opens a large, heavy door. Past the heavy iron door that is the tower's only visible entrance, a short tunnel extends through 5 feet of solid rock into a cool, dark chamber. As you enter, a floating orb of pale violet light brightens before you, revealing an opening in the vaulted ceiling and a spiral stone staircase with no railing climbing up into the darkness. Around the stairs, the light reveals a circular audience chamber with cold, unlit lanterns hanging from brackets set in the stone wall, heavy carpets covering the smooth stone surface, and a throne-like stone chair on a raised dais to the left of the entrance. The ball of violet light floats to a stop beneath the center of the open shaft, beyond the foot of the stairs. It then hovers there, as if waiting for you. Come, we will discuss upstairs. And at that, we're going to call it for the evening. So-ho-ho-ho. How's everybody feeling?
That was fun.
Oh,
Aside from the massive wave of nausea in the middle of it.
I feel you.
I enjoyed murdering Scarlet. That was pretty entertaining.
Yes, it was greatly entertaining.
Now, Ledge and I are even.
Even.
Yep. Yep, you turned him to stone.
You turn my dragon stone, I turn you stone.
You know, this is a Dark Souls dragon. It wouldn't be able to be turned to stone because it's already stone.
But
yeah,
then,
but the
would
Dark
have
Souls creatures
done
are
something
coming
else.
later.
Dark Soul dragons are only affected by, like, lightning.
And besides, it's your own fault for forgetting legendary resistance.
No, I didn't forget it. I just chose not to have it. Because
Exactly.
the creature just came back from the dead, so... Essentially, it didn't get a long rest.
Didn't it just get the longest rest of its life?
No, he was dead. You don't know how fucking Oric killed that thing?
I guess not. Because, you know, Oric's also dead.
Well, you know, you are now aware of a necromancer, so you could potentially go ahead and recruit that necromancer to ask things about Auric.
What necromancer?
Zan.
You're aware of Zamphanis.
Alright, Zan.
Yeah.
I think Oric would kill me would kill Maxwell if I brought him back with a necromancer.
Plus, if you wanted to do that, Oric had his own necromancers.
Yeah. Oric had an undead in his legion. Oh, I even told you guys, I even told Zan and Omega, hey, he has necromancer, so just be careful.
Yeah, and you most likely haven't told Robert that either.
Fuck no.
there are things in the closet you don't talk about.
There are many secrets we do not talk about with Robert.
You do not tell your paladin, who is very smite happy, that you know necromancers. It's not a
I
smite
know
secret.
necromancers, I know infernalists. Hell, I knew undead. I knew lichens, I knew a lot of shit.
But hey, at least that smite trigger happy paladin knows about the fiend. in the party, and the fiend is yet to be smitten. Maybe there is redemption.
Which fiend? Are you
I'm
talking
a
about
fiendish half-orc.
there?
Anyway, do you guys got any questions?
XP.
5,500.
All right. All right, guys. What should we be at? Because I don't think I've been keeping track.
I hate you all sometimes.
I know you do.
I just started, so it's easy for me.
117,550.
Wait, what was that? Say that one more time.
117,550.
Why am I at 122,650 already? Wait, this is Elzran. That's why.
Fucking Foley.
So 117,550.
Yep.
I'm 5,000 away from level 14.
Wait, you're 13 already?
Yes.
What? Robert, Morty, we're 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay, I
get.
got
Just
him.
hit level 12.
I gave him a little extra when I took away Soldier Shell.
Fair enough. In Killer, I will rub it in more.
Yeah, you know, I was taking away a weapon that went hitting for like about 80 damage a round and gave me health back.
Yeah, that
Sometimes
stacked
you-
on his temp HP. Anyhow, guys, we are going to call it for the evening. Once again, we will not be having a session next weekend. We will still be having our Wednesday sessions as usual. But
Yeah, Robert does a lot of damage too. Pay attention to me.
Yes.
All right.
Congratulations.
anyhow, we will not be having our session next week, but the week after we will be picking right back up in Vizron's tower, coming up with a plan to destroy the demon lords once and for all. Once we, you better fix your fucking damage, Morty. You remembered it, because otherwise you're just going down to
I
1
just
out of
added
10.
I just added 2 zeros to the end,
Oh, okay.
so I made it 1d1000.
800
Alright,
damage.
Here's what my sneak attack damage would be if I rolled 4 nat 20s.
Anyhow, e-peening aside, as I was saying, can I get through this before you guys continue your e-peening, please?
Sure.
Anyway, we will not have session next week. We'll be jumping back in at... God fucking damn it, stop it. We'll be jumping back in Vizron's tower, coming up with a plan for the Demon Lords. You guys are coming pretty close to the end of the actual campaign. You guys are currently on chapter 12 out of like 17, I think. Essentially, you guys will help formulate the plan. You'll go search out the reagents that you guys are going to need. That'll be about 3 chapters, and you guys will square down against some of the demon lords before finally squaring down against any remaining ones in chapter 17. After that, depending on how much time we have with Foley, if he still has like a month or so, by the time we finish that, before he splits off, I will try to at least brush the surface of the Devil Lords campaign. Which is...
Oh, so we haven't even fucking touched the devils yet.
The only devils that you guys have dealt with are Thunk and Silversill, and you guys saw Sickalost. So yeah. Anyway, on that note, everybody say good night, stream.
Good night.
Good morning, stream.
Hello.